Time forecast for East Alabama and West Georgia from Dr. Don's Weather. Now from the Alpha Weather Center, powered by Southern Union State Community College and the East Alabama Bee Company. Here's Dr. Don.
Well, good afternoon, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don in here with you. And as promised, we're going to give you a little bit of an update this afternoon on the possibility of severe weather across East Alabama and West Georgia. This has been a very complicated weather setup from the National Weather Service in their forecasting. We've been watching this very closely for about the last 12 hours or so, and following some of their offline discussions. They're really banging their head up against the wall on this one, but just in the last hour or so, confidence is really beginning to come into play. Now, we thought, the Weather Service thought, that we might have a MCS, or mesoscale convective system, which is just a big complex of thunderstorms, move into Alabama this morning. That did not materialize, primarily because of a high-pressure dome that's kind of centered over east central Alabama. But that high pressure is now beginning to fade away and move off to the east. And because we did not have thunderstorms this morning, it has enhanced the risk of severe storms this afternoon, because now the heating of the day is well underway. Humidity levels are relatively high, and so we didn't have rain to cool the atmosphere down this morning. So with full-blown sunshine, or at least filtered sunshine in some locations, we are setting the stage for maybe multiple rounds of strong to potentially severe thunderstorms later on this afternoon. Now, if you'll take a look at the graphic that we have on the screen, this is the very latest from the Storm Prediction Center out of Norman, Oklahoma. This is the convective outlook. Convection is thunderstorm activity. And you can see there on the screen that slight risk category has moved a little bit further to the east versus what we had this morning. So now all of northwest Georgia and getting awfully close to northeast Georgia, stretching all the way down into Atlanta Metro and down into our West Georgia counties, and certainly our East Alabama counties, are now covered by that slight risk category. So what does all this mean? Well, it means that our risk probabilities are broken into 5 different levels, 1 being the least, 5 being the highest. And across East Alabama and West Georgia, you're at a level 2, or what is referred to as a slight risk category. If you go over into northern Mississippi, extreme northwest Alabama, central and western Tennessee, up into central Kentucky, they are in an enhanced risk of severe weather. That would be a 3 out of 5, and that's where the greatest risk of severe weather will be today, with the next greatest risk being across East Alabama and West Georgia. And I gotta tell you, every moment that we go this afternoon with full-blown sunshine and no cloud coverage or rain, the greater that risk is going to be as we get into late afternoon. Here's the best way to look at it. That pot of water is now on the stove. With every passing hour or so, we don't get that water to boil. We turn the heat up just a little bit more, until eventually 4, 5 o'clock this afternoon, that water starts to boil. That's when those thunderstorms start to develop across the area, and we have the potential of seeing some pretty strong thunderstorms this afternoon. The primary threats will be damaging straight line winds, and then maybe some hail, and of course very dangerous lightning. We'll show you all of those possibilities in just a moment. Here's the latest graphic from the National Weather Service out of Birmingham. And here it is. So over there in northwest Alabama, in the enhanced risk, we're looking at damaging winds of up to 70 miles per hour. That yellow area, which covers a good chunk of the state of Alabama, damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. And then basically south of the I-85 corridor, the same threats, but they're not quite as likely down there. And we could see multiple rounds of severe storms during the afternoon and overnight hours. In other words, we could have Well, some of the long-range models or intermediate range models are suggesting maybe 2 or 3 of these mesoscale convective systems working their way from north and northwest to the south and southeast across the area this afternoon, tonight, and then again tomorrow morning as the actual cold front gets a little bit closer to East Alabama and West Georgia. So we're going to have to keep an eye on all this. Now, understand, folks, it says severe storms, what? Possible. It does not say that we are absolutely going to have severe storms. This is a forecast. Look up the definition of a forecast. It's a prognostication of what could happen. We're not telling you it is going to happen, so keep that in mind as we go through this afternoon. I don't want you to be surprised if you get caught under one of these strong to severe thunderstorms. That's why we're giving you this information. And then as we get toward Monday morning, the risk level is going to come way down, just a marginal risk across East Alabama as that cold front pushes through and pushes all of this out of here. And then we get awfully hot next week. By the time we get to Wednesday or Thursday, we could be looking at temperatures approaching 95, 96, 97 degrees. So you want to practice heat safety. Time to start thinking about that. We've been blessed so far this spring and early summer. We've had relatively cool temperatures. We've had a hot day here and there, but overall, it's been pretty nice up until now. And we are about to feel the July heat, a prelude to what's coming as we end the month of June. Again, temperatures at least the mid-90s, maybe the upper 90s before the end of the week. And so we've just had a power failure here at our studios. We're going to end this live, and when we get everything set back up, we'll come back and continue. I'm not sure if we're still transmitting or not. I believe that we are. It's unweather related, but that happens up here in the mountains. We have trees fall for no reason whatsoever. So I'll come back in just a few moments and show you the radar. The best thing to understand right now is no threatening weather at the moment. That will be later on this afternoon, and I'll be back with more coverage for you here on Dr. Don's Weather.